Jonathan Turley joins us right now. You know, Jonathan, as we look at the images that have come out overnight, if people are just waking up, this happened about 12:45 when they started to occupy the building. They broke into the building. They're on camera. We can see a lot of the faces. But here's the thing. Not only did they break into the building, but they also, and Lawrence kind of mentioned this a moment ago, there were 3 or 4 members of the janitorial staff who were in there, and they were begging for the protesters to let them go, and they wouldn't. And then one of them came out of the building, and the guy goes, "They held me hostage." What are the legal ramifications now?
Well, welcome to Criminal Law 101, and they're learning as they go because they have now run through the criminal code. They've got trespass, they have property damage, they have possible assault, they have possible false imprisonment. That's a lot. And they're now going to get an education. They talk about, you know, there's a banner saying liberation education.
Right.
This is going to be an education of a different type. But some of these are likely not students. You know, we've been living through this type of thing in higher education for over 20 years. And the fact that they literally took over a building is really quite telling because they have largely taken over campuses for the last 20 years with canceled campaigns, including my campus. But there's very little pushback from universities. And it leaves this sort of, you know, mobtocracy that exists on our campuses.
So at 2 p.m., they were supposed to rip up the encampment by 2 p.m. And they said, no, we're not doing that because we want you to divest from all Israeli investments. And the president said, no, we're not going to do that. But I will not call the NYPD. We're just going to suspend all of you that don't leave. You're done for the semester or indefinitely. There's been nothing done. After 2 o'clock, they call a press conference. We're not going anywhere. And the faculty rims around the encampment as if to protect it, and then they take this building. How do you expect to enforce something at the same time say, I won't call the cops?
Well, that's what's been reinforced on our campuses. You know, there's some schools that now offer a degree in activism. You know, at UCLA, when you had that person that did the mandatory lecture at the medical school, she is a, quote, activist in residence. And she gave this racist, anti-Semitic, you know, diatribe. That's become the reality in higher education. So what do these students learn from this? They learn that there's not many consequences. But the fact that they haven't been called in is not unique. Look, at George Washington.
But now they have to, right?
Well, I think they do.
They took the building.
Well, when you start to lose buildings, at some point you're going to have to say, we need those. You know, we actually need those buildings. So it's going to force the hand of administrators. They're going to have to do something with these students and say, look, you crossed the Rubicon. It's time to go.
Right, but Jonathan, they're the ones who would be pressing the charges, you know, trespassing, everything else. And if the administrators are going, you know, they're just blowing off some steam, the way they enforced the suspension thing at 2 o'clock yesterday. But the interesting thing is the cops are there. They showed up at 12:45 this morning. They're outside the gate, and they said, when asked by the local paper, the Columbia Spectator, the student paper, they said, would you go inside? And they said, yes, if we hear that somebody has been hurt. So apparently, bodily harm is the red line.
Right. And look, the cities aren't doing much more in some places. In D.C., they occupy the actual street outside my office with tents. And the D.C. police have just allowed them to do that.
They said it's not a good look.
Right. Well, in D.C., it really depends what you're protesting. If it depends on the content. If these were some other protesters, they wouldn't have let this happen for a nanosecond.
So this, I think, judging by what the NYPD says is their criteria, when you take a building, when you defy an order, when you have 3 to 4 people who said I was held against my will, is that enough for the NYPD says, I'm not checking with the president, I'm going in? If they went in now, would they be looking at a legal problem? Would you think from what we know there's justification?
Well, if there is a criminal complaint by anyone, including those...
But they have to physically, one of those janitors got to go out and complain?
I think that someone has to, but, you know, you can't stop the police from coming in to rescue someone.
Right.
So it depends, but the university's made very clear that they want this to sort of burn out. Well, you now have a 5-alarm fire. You've lost a major building. At what point do you say, we have to control our university if we're going to do higher education? Because you can't not only lose control, but lose your buildings. What do you have at the end?
Well, coming up in the next hour, we're going to have Mike Lawler, the congressman from the great state of New York. He has introduced the Anti-Semitism Awareness Act, where essentially if there's anti-Semitism on a campus that receives federal funding, they could cut off the federal funding, which, you know, the weird thing is there are a number of Democrats in Congress who are against it, and we've seen some of them show up in support of the Palestinians and things like that. But ultimately, one of the complaints about this particular bill is that it's unclear to determine when does free speech, and this is right up your department, when does free speech cross into discrimination or anti-Semitism?
Well, look, we have a very robust protection for free speech, but it does not include smashing windows, taking over buildings, threatening students. But also, universities have an obligation not just to satisfy the First Amendment, which is there to really control the government, but to protect speech generally. Right. You have a professor who was prevented from going onto the Columbia campus because he's Jewish and he's outspoken. And so their solution was, for your own safety, we're not going to let you walk onto campus.
They wiped out his security card. I want you to hear, KJP was asked this because the president's MIA. He doesn't speak about it unless he puts on a tux and mocks it at the White House Correspondents' Address. So here is KJP asking about the 2 p.m. deadline. What does the president say when the 2 p.m. deadline goes if these kids don't pick up their tents and leave? Watch.
All Americans have the right to peacefully protest. At the same time, we have to call out any hateful rhetoric that we hear. Anti-Semitism is wrong, and so we're going to continue to do that. But universities and colleges make their own decisions. It is up to their leadership. We're not going to weigh in from here.
Said he was watching, he was covering the truce talks and the hostage talks. He didn't really know if he was even watching this.
Right. Well, that's the problem we've seen for years, is this vacuum of leadership from our own administration officials. And this is a gas. It'll fill that space.
Right.
And by the way, many of these people are almost professional agitators. If you look, there's some flags there from Antifa. There are outside groups that do this all the time. We have Antifa on our campus. I've been writing about them for 10 years because they're the most anti-free speech movement, perhaps in history. They're students and they're also activists and they're anarchists. And this is what anarchy is about, right? The taking over buildings like this.
But what about, real quickly, what about the professors who are also on that side, also in the building?
Oh, yeah. Our campus, like other campuses, professors linked arms to preserve these protests.
Well, thanks for linking arms with us.
I know you're here for the Cubs-Mets series.
Hey, I'm here for you.
We want to talk about the Trump trial, but I guess we'll put that off to another time with this breaking news.
Go Cubs.
Fantastic seeing you in person, Jonathan.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. All right, still ahead. I'm Steve Ducey.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.